Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Ray Ron. Today I got another manga book to talk about today. This is The Splendid Work of a Monster Maid, Volume 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back here and see what we got. Alright, so once upon a time, there was an elderly woman. She lived alone, save for a darling black cat that she devoted on. After many years, the cat finally gained the ability to transform. Look, mistress, I've turned into a human. Now I can repay your kindness. Alas, the kitty was just a little too late to help the owner. Legend has it, she is now a wanderess, the demon realm, looking for a place where she belongs, and she begins the tale of Sumra, the Nekomata, and her splendid work as a monster maid. So that's a little excerpt from the back. Again, there's going to be spoilers, so if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to watch this video at a later time. So with that, we're going to go ahead and look at our particular chapters, which are right here. So the author has decided that it's going to be nights for the chapters, which is interesting. So we got Sumri in the demon realm, the black cat and white mice, sign of affection, the corpse, and the corpse. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into this volume. So this is a brand new volume that came out in November, if I remember correctly. It is produced by the Yen Press. It is ranked older teen for L and NV, if that matters to you. But something I kind of want to talk about is that this particular manga was a little bit more expensive. But as I start to buy newer manga that are coming out, unfortunately, at the time of this video, inflation is starting to hit the manga market. Because normally you'll get manga for typically on average between $7 and $9 per volume. But I'm starting to see that jump a little bit, going between 10 and 15. So this one's a little bit more on the expensive side. It almost pushed me away, but you know, I remember from the other manga that I read, the I'm the Cat Barista, that it was also on the expensive end, but the story was phenomenal. It's actually my manga book for 2021. This particular book, again, I'm glad I bought it because the story is really good. So basically, the whole premise behind this is that we are introduced into the demon realm, basically where it is ruled by a demon king, and kind of the backstory is that the demon king had a fight with his older twin brother and was able to take his magic from him and able to rule the land, so that way the older brother won't get control of the demon lands. And so we have our main character here, who is Sumra, the Nekomata. I'm just going to say a Neko because that's basically what she is. Half cat, half human. And essentially, we are introduced into her world. She was being taken care of by a ice witch, and she collects all sorts of things. But our kind of boss of, not necessarily boss is an evil, but there's a company boss, and we don't know his full name, but he turns out to be the older brother that was cast away from the Demon King. So now he wants to, you know, not necessarily take revenge, but do right and try to get. The motive is, it's weird. I don't want to say it's revenge, but for the lack of a better phrase, it's revenge. But anyways, and so he's in control of this maid service, and the whole reason why he created this company is that everyone knows the older brother's face. So now we have these individuals that will go out and try to defeat the people who have sworn allegiance to a demon king and have the power from the demon king. And so we're thrust into our main character here, and we're introduced to two more characters that come from this company, this maid service company, of Rose, who is an undead character, and Ivy, who is an android. So they basically knock upon the ice witch's door, and come to find out that the ice witch, which we thought was kind because it took our main character in, come to find out she's with all the power that she's gathered from her collection, and the best way to see this power in the book is that it sparkles. And so Her collection has given her that sparkly power, is the best way I can describe it. And she's also been collecting the former maids that were helping her out with the area and freezing them, essentially. And so when that's been revealed, then all three of our main characters now, Rosie, Ivory, and Sumri, were able to at least knock down the power of the Ice Witch, and were able to defeat her, essentially, along with the help of the older brother, Boss King. The president is what they call him. We don't have an exact name yet, so the manga didn't go into too much detail with that. So now we start to see kind of the story develop, where now the older brother explains that he needs Sumra's help, so that way they can defeat all the other people who betrayed him by supporting the Demon King. So we got these three other bosses that we kind of they have to go up against. So we've got a Lantern Head is the name, and basically he was monopolizing the farming market in the Demon Lands because he was using the power of white mice, and they had the sparkly power ability to indicate that yeah, this is the unique power that was given from the Demon King. And so they were able to defeat the Lantern Head. Next up was a interesting character, and I'll go more into this here in a second, but it was a one-horned rabbit, which is truly unique, and I'll show you guys some of the illustration. It's definitely one of the stronger points in this manga and what I enjoyed about it. But anyway, you've got this couple who are famous for their smith work and blacksmithing and their weaponry and so forth, and they needed maid help to take care of the daughter, Lala. Now, Lala is a spoiled individual, but come to find out, she's kind of a bratty individual because she's an only child, and she just wanted to have more time with her parents because the parents are so busy doing smith work and everything that the daughter gets kind of neglected. And our three main characters here kind of recognize that, and come to find out, the little daughter had a weapon, an axe weapon, that had that sparkly power from the Demon King, and they were able to gain her trust. And our main character here, one thing I forgot to explain is that our main characters have these keys that can transform into weapons. Hers is a scythe, and with these scythe, they're able to negate, cancel out, absorb. It's not really defined, but they're able to stop these Demon King powers that these other individuals have. But they were able to gain Lala's trust, and they were able to get rid, negate, cancel the powers of the Demon King. And then our last one was the Undead Doctor. And so our three heroes here, Ivy, Rose, and Sumra, they go into this factory type thing and lair or laboratory type thing, and they discovered that a particular room called the engine room was sparkling. And kind of a quick notes of this, the Undead Doctor was basically doing experiments, and also experiments on himself, and he pretty much had all these like puppet robot looking things. But anyways, the Undead Doctor was able to capture Rosie, leaving our other two heroes, Ivy and Sumra, to try to find her. And that's where volume 1 ends. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. Again, it is expensive. It's on the $15 side. So again, if you're budget conscious, this is definitely one of the more expensive ones to get into. But one thing that I really enjoyed about this manga is the character illustrations, and I'll show you some examples of that. This first illustration, not necessarily a character illustration, but I just want to show you guys what the main powers are here. It's basically these keys, and the keys are very nicely detailed, unique, and there's just something about, a small item being transformed into a bigger item that I really enjoy. And I like the idea that these keys give our heroes here weapons. Alright, so here was our first boss, essentially, or villain. It's not villain the way you would think of it, because you're in Demon Land, so it's kind of all gray area, but antagonist. Gotta remember to use that word. So our first antagonist here was our Ice Witch, and I just love how it's illustrated here. And she has a name. I just can't quite remember the name. But, yeah, the illustrations for the characters are spot on. And then here is our older twin brother that was portrayed by his younger Demon King brother. Again, I love the illustration. I love the idea of the 4 wings. Again, gives some creative uniqueness to the character. I don't like the idea that the body's portrayed as a young adult, but, you know, that's just the way it is. Subjective. The next one here was our lantern head. So you can kind of see, like, it's kind of a hybrid between like a flame elemental and a scarecrow. Really unique, and it really caught my attention. Like a two-faced villain. Very cool. And then the last, or second to last one, I forgot to mark the undead one. Here is the one-horned rabbit. Which, again, very unique. The characters just have definition. I like the writing in this. This was the young daughter, Lala. There's a particular... Let's see if I can find it here. And then we got our undead... not professor, the undead doctor, who was doing experiments on himself and others. And so you can also see here that... oops. Oi, camera. There we go. Alright. Sorry about that. So our undead doctor here, again, you can see how everything is sparkling, kind of indicates the power that was given from the Demon King. Again, pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, that is pretty much this particular manga, the splendid work of a monster maid. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I like the concept of, you know, you have basically a brother that was betrayed, and now he's built this company to have his workers go out who have abilities to basically work through these other antagonists that have the abilities from the other Demon King. And so it's going to be interesting to see who's on the right side of all of this. Because right now it's not really clear which brother has good intentions. You know, is it the president that they call here? Or is it the Demon King? Who knows? But with that, guys, that's Volume 1. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.